Hello everyone, and welcome. Tonight, you're about to witness something truly chilling. A story that takes you deep into the darkness where curiosity turns into fear, and silence hides something unspeakable. Far away, in a forgotten corner of the countryside, stands an old mansion that no one dares to enter. The locals, they say it's cursed. A place where every whisper belongs to the dead, and every shadow watches you back. But one man, a young vlogger named Ethan Parker, searching for truth, dares to step inside with his camera, unaware that some doors should never be opened. Prepare yourself for a journey filled with suspense, fear, and the echo of something that refuses to die. Welcome to the curse of Blackwood Mansion. Our story begins on a foggy midnight. The air is thick, heavy, clinging to everything like a damp shroud. A single motorbike cuts through the mist, its headlight a lonely beacon against the suffocating darkness of a countryside road. The rider is Ethan Parker, a man on a mission, wrapped in a black jacket, his backpack filled with gear and maybe a little too much confidence. Above him, a full moon glows eerily, its light struggling to pierce the rolling fog. Thunder rumbles in the distance, a low, guttural warning. The bike slows, then stops before a towering iron gate, rusted and twisted with age. As the camera pans up, the source of all the local legends is revealed. Blackwood Mansion. It sits on a lonely hill, a monstrous silhouette against the night sky, surrounded by skeletal trees that claw at the heavens. The place doesn't just look abandoned, it looks dead. With a deep breath, Ethan pushes the gate. The screech of rusted metal is agonizing, a sound that rips through the silence of the night. It's the first of many warnings he'll ignore. The camera closes in on his face. You can see the nervous energy in his eyes, the beads of sweat forming on his forehead. He's trying to look brave, but the fear is already there. A seed planted deep inside. Flashlight in one hand, camera in the other. He steps onto the property. The air immediately turns colder, biting at his exposed skin. The front door creaks open under his touch, inviting him into a world layered with dust and decay. Cobwebs hang like funeral veils from the ceiling. Broken furniture lies scattered like forgotten bones, and torn curtains dance in a draft that seems to come from nowhere. His flashlight beam slices through the gloom, revealing cracked walls and a gallery of old portraits, their eyes seeming to follow his every move. Dust motes float in the air, shimmering like tiny, restless spirits. Every footstep he takes echoes through the vast, empty halls, a lonely percussion in this symphony of silence. Holding the camera steady, Ethan breaks the quiet. His voice is a low whisper, trembling just slightly. Is anyone here? If there's someone here, show yourself. The words hang in the air, a challenge thrown into the void. And the void answers. A faint sound, almost imperceptible at first, drifts from the darkness behind him. A woman's laugh. Soft, distant, yet utterly chilling. He spins around, his heart pounding in his chest. The flashlight flickers erratically, the beam jumping across the empty hallway. There's nothing there. Only shadows, shifting and playing tricks on his mind. Or are they? The camera zooms in slowly on his face, his eyes wide with a mixture of terror and disbelief. He's no longer a confident vlogger, he's prey, realizing he's walked into a trap. His gaze drifts to one of the portraits on the wall, a woman with pale skin, dressed in a long, black Victorian gown. Her expression is somber, her eyes dark and empty. But as he stares, something impossible happens. Her painted eyes seem to shift, just for a second, to meet his. Beside the frame, a single, unlit candle suddenly flickers to life, its flame dancing violently as if caught in a gale. In the wavering light, the woman's painted mouth twists, forming a tiny, malevolent smile. The temperature drops further. A soft, cold wind snakes through the corridor, extinguishing the candle and plunging him back into near total darkness, with only his failing flashlight for comfort. And that's when he sees her. Standing at the far end of the hallway, a figure materializes from the shadows. It's the woman from the portrait. Her eyes are ghostly white voids. Her long black hair pools on the floor around her, and her expression is lifeless, yet terrifyingly calm. A thick, Unnatural fog rises from the floorboards, swirling around her feet as she begins to glide towards him. Her voice, a sibilant whisper that seems to come from all directions at once, chills him to the bone. "You shouldn't have come here. Ether ... Double quotes panic erupts. The world descends into chaos. The camera shakes violently as Ethan stumbles backward, his breath coming in ragged, desperate gasps. All around him, the mansion comes alive. Doors slam shut with concussive force. Furniture rattles and shakes as if in a violent earthquake. The portraits of long-dead ancestors fall from the walls, their glass frames shattering on the floor. His flashlight beam dances wildly, a frantic strobe light illuminating fleeting glimpses of pure horror. Then, an unseen force clamps around his ankle, cold and impossibly strong. He's thrown to the floor, a scream tearing from his throat. The camera gets a close-up of his terrified face, his eyes reflecting the approaching specter. The ghostly woman moves closer, her shadow stretching unnaturally long across the floor, a wave of darkness consuming everything in its path. The air is thick with the sound of a frantic heartbeat, his heartbeat on the cacophony of whispers that crawl into his mind, speaking of sorrow and eternal pain. With a final, desperate cry, the camera tumbles from his grasp. It lands on the dusty floor, its lens askew, the small red recording light blinking like a dying pulse. For a moment, all we see is the floorboards, but we hear it all. We hear Ethan's screams grow more distant as he is dragged away, deeper into the suffocating darkness of the mansion. Then, silence. A profound, absolute silence that is more terrifying than any scream. The scene shifts. Morning light, pale and gentle, streams through the broken windows of Blackwood Mansion. Outside, a small group of villagers approaches cautiously, their faces etched with concern. They found his motorbike by the gate, which now stands half open, a silent invitation to damnation. One of them steps inside. The grand hall is quiet now, dust settling once more. Everything is still, except for one thing. Lying in the middle of the floor is Ethan's camera, its lens coated in a fine layer of dust. The recording light is still blinking, faint but persistent. The view switches to the camera's last recording. The image flickers. Then, a face fills the screen, so close the lens can't focus. A pale face, hollow eyes, and lips that part to utter one final, terrifying whisper. Now, the mansion has another soul. The screen cuts to black. A distant, distorted echo of Ethan's voice fades into nothing. And slowly, the final words appear. Some doors should never be opened. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales that lurk in the shadows. Stay safe, and whatever you do, be careful which doors you choose to open.